days ago, Drinker put out a video. 2 days ago, Drinker put out a video about The Last of Us. Now, if you guys don't know about The Last of Us Season 2 came out, and like clockwork, a lot of people started not watching The Last of Us is because it's been sucking a lot of dicks. And let me tell you why. It's exactly like the video game. When you kill off a very cool character and you make the side character the main character, that's a little bitch. A lot of people are not going to like that, right? This is the video. So the Drinker put out a video a couple of days ago, and it was removed for a short amount of time, maybe about like a day or something. What's going on, Night Saber? How's it going, man? Yeah, it was like removed for about a day. You weren't able to watch it, and this is like this is the video that is officially back out now. Now I wonder if this was YouTube's doing, or if it was Naughty Dog's doing, right? Because several years ago, when The Last of Us Part 2 came out, and I guess the plot leaked online that basically Joel was basically going to die, and you had to play the game as Abby for a little bit, which is sort of weird. And a lot of people got pissed off is because Joel was the main character, and now Ellie is the main character. A lot of people hated that, right? And I believe a lot of channels got copyright strike. Like I believe Jeremy's from Geeks and Gamer, Ryan Kinnell's, a bunch of other people, and I believe even Jeremy's. We're talking about DD Cobra here, Geeks and Gamers. His personal Twitter, now X account was, I guess, suspended because he posted a photo of Big Papa Pump superimposed on top of Abby's face after killing off Joel in the video game. Now, this article here, you guys can see it, but it says The Last of Us loses viewers following a major character death of Joel in season 2. The Last of Us suffers viewership slump after Joel's death. Of course it's going to happen. Whether or not you like Pedro Pascal, he's good at his job. So of course it's going to happen, right? Now we're talking about normies here. We're not talking about people who are playing the video game. We're talking about normies who have an HBO Max account and had no idea this was happening. I have a lot of friends online that didn't know that this was going to happen. So when they found out, it's like, oh my God, of course you killed off a major, like you're killing off the main character. Of course the show is going to fall off. So let's go and check out Drinker's video and let's see what he had to say about this. But yeah, this was the controversial video that got removed by YouTube and now has been reinstated. Let's check it out.
Another week, another episode of The Last of Us to get through.
Oh my God!
Jeez.
And I say it that way because that's exactly what this show is starting to feel like for me. Homework. Some mildly unpleasant tasks to be completed as quickly as possible, instead of a rollicking good piece of entertainment that I can't wait to experience week after week. And apparently, I'm not the only one to feel this way, as the show's
that's
lost
the article I was
almost
talking about.
20% of its audience by episode 3, and its Rotten Tomatoes.
Damn. Popcorn meter at 49%. Look, and the video, the episode that came out a couple of days ago. The episode that came out a couple of days ago wasn't good either, right? The episode. Ellie says, "I'm gonna be a dad." I showed that screenshot to my wife, and she was flabbergasted and confused at the same time. She basically said, You know that girls can't do that, right? And she's like, how did that happen? Like, she's not a guy, she's a girl. So I basically said, I don't know. I stopped watching after season 1. And here's the thing, I did play Last of Us Part 1. I did not play Part 2. So yeah, my wife was confused. So she was like, why do they have to do this? Right? And we do know that Bella Ramsey is a non-binary. It's crazy that these people that are preaching so hard with their message, not knowing what a woman really is.
Score has plummeted to just 49%, officially marking it as rotten for the first time. Golly gee whiz, I wonder what could have possibly caused this.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
The thing is, almost everyone knew
They
this
actually
was
did it.
coming. Everyone who played the games knew that killing off Joel was going to put the show into a death spiral
Yep.
that it would struggle to pull out of, as the narrative devolved into a grimly sadistic misery simulator where every major character dies or ends up broken and alone. Everyone who watched season 1 could have told you that Bella Ramsey's
God, man, what a fucking miscast. Like the girl that was playing Abby, she could have been Ellie. I've seen so many other good cosplayers online that could have been Ellie. Why did they choose this fucking like terminal alcoholism baby? Like, why did they, like, she looks like she has downs. Right? Baby, are you down, 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 down? It's like, I liked her in Game of Thrones. But she's fucking awful as Ellie.
Ellie wasn't going to be able to carry a show like this without Pedro Pascal there to support her. Everyone knew this was coming except for HBO, apparently. You know, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. And if that's the case, then I think Neil Druckmann needs an intervention pronto because...
In technical terminology, he's a loon.
But from a writing point of view, I
Jeez.
think it's actually worth explaining why killing off Joel was such a massive mistake.
Like I said, and I'll say it again. I think killing off Joe is fine. It's where they killed him off. When and where they killed him off, okay? They killed him off way too early in the game, and they forced you to play as Abby for a good amount of time in the game, right? In the show, I believe, according to what I heard, you don't do that. You don't basically follow Abby for like fucking several hours. You don't do that at all. Now, like I said, if they killed off Joel like mid-season, or maybe like near the end, like maybe episode 7, let's say it's 10 episodes, where they killed him off in episode 7, episode 6, it probably would have been better, right? But now you have to suffer you have to slog through this whole fucking show watching Bella Ramsey, who is not really that good of an actor, because she is more of a supporting actor than a leading actor anyways. So now you have to watch her talking about her having a dick, being a dad, tripping with another girl, squirting on each other like Cytheria. But like no one's gonna fucking care about that. No, if she looked like Cytheria, that's completely different. But like even me, I'm like, I have no issues with Joel getting like killed. It's why did you make it so early? And the thing is that I knew about Joel getting killed when I was at the FNT meetup in Vegas, because one of the guys I met and became friends with did the VFX for season 1. And he said, hey, are you watching season 2 of Last of Us? I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, you should watch the next episode. I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. I was like, are they going to do it? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. And that was 3 weeks ago.
Both in the games and in the show, because this ties into a much bigger issue about character relationships and the importance of having balance and contrast in your stories. And the reality here is that without Joel, The Last of Us has no emotional heart anymore. See, the first game, and to some extent the first season of The Last of Us, both succeeded.
Ellen Page blood sausage. Her blood sausage isn't fully formed, but she's okay. Oh man. I remember someone asked me, or I saw, yes, I remember someone asked me, and I also saw a video on it too. Someone asked me a long time ago, if you were to get into a fight with anyone in Hollywood, who would it be? Like for me, I would choose, like, I chose the guy from, what's it called again? I think it's called like, the new guy. He's like a super scrawny guy. Well, I saw a video on Instagram saying Elliot Page. I'm like, good answer. Good answer.
Successfully tapped into one of the most compelling and universal character dynamics in all of fiction, the bond between a father and his daughter. Yeah, it was definitely an unconventional version of that relationship. Ellie wasn't really Joel's daughter, and they didn't even meet each other until she was an adolescent, but the all-important dynamic was still the same. Joel was the
this is basically Logan, right? Old man Logan, right? Logan meeting X-23 and sort of becoming her daughter. Like, pretty fucking good.
Experienced protector and father figure, and Ellie was the young and vulnerable daughter that he had to guide, protect, and watch over. He was jaded, cynical, and pragmatic, hardened by a lifetime of tough choices and brutal
the first game.
While
It was
she
really
was
good.
idealistic and maybe a touch naive, eager to see the world without knowing much about how dangerous it could really be out
the
there.
black friend.
Obviously, she was no match for him
Oh
physically,
man, I
because
remember
he
that
was a grown
scene.
man and she was a little girl, and if anything, she's actually a burden on him at first. She doesn't know much about hunting or survival. She makes a lot of mistakes that almost get them both killed, and despite all her bullshit and bravado, she's actually pretty scared and intimidated by the world around her. It made for a great contrast, allowing them to spark off each other, provoke and challenge each other, and grow and develop in interesting.
Yeah, like here's the thing. The first game was really good, and I played the remaster for PS5, right? And it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and like Bill's scene is actually really, really good too. Now, Bill, on the other hand, that was in the show, episode 3, where they tricked the fans on watching a gay fucking relationship. I think that's where a lot of people stopped watching. Like, I'm talking about a lot of normies stopped watching. But the thing is that you can completely skip that episode and it will not change the episode. It will not change the season, right? So I remember my brother was like, should I watch The Last of Us? And I was like, skip episode 3. And he was like, what's episode 3? I was like, do you want to see 2 hairy gay men having sex? And he's like, no. It's like, skip it. He's like, is it important? He's like, it's filler. And us coming from anime, you know, I watched a shit ton of anime. Naruto had so much fucking fillers. So I told him about filler and he's like, all right, cool, I don't need to watch it. It's like, no.
Ways. Because of Joel, Ellie gradually learns how to look after herself, how to survive in a harsh and unforgiving world, to the point where she even has to step up and become a protector for him when he's badly wounded.
Yeah, the scene was so
because
good.
of Ellie, Joel's demeanor slowly softens as he warms to her and starts to see her as more than just a package that has to be delivered to a destination. He begins to see her as someone he genuinely
she can't
cares
swim,
about,
right? Yep.
a surrogate for the daughter that he lost 20 years earlier. Joel brings out Ellie's inner strength, while Ellie brings out Joel's humanity. In a neat piece of narrative give and take, they each fill gaps in the other's life. The show mostly managed to replicate this dynamic in season 1 despite its best efforts, and the reason I say that,
it's so funny to me that, like, if you're a girl and you're really fucking ugly and you have like a lot of like male like mannerisms about you, like, and you're working in Hollywood, you immediately become non-binary because like you don't want to be labeled as female because that's will be, you know, feminine, and you don't want to be labeled as a male. It's like automatically, oh, you're ugly and unattractive. No one likes you. You have no ass and no tits, and you're sort of fat a little bit. Non-binary.
Is that you can tell they did everything in their power to toughen Ellie up.
Episode 3 was
break
ultra
Joel
gay?
down,
Yeah, it was
bending
mega
the
gay.
Dynamic as far as they could possibly go without breaking it. The Ellie in the show was much more confident, assertive, and capable right from the start.
Yeah,
easily
sort
taking
of
control
Mary Sue-like. Yeah, a little bit.
Disagreements, rarely showing any fear of Joel or the world around them, frequently disobeying his instructions and mouthing off at him as if a 50-year-old man with a gun that she barely knows is the kind of guy you'd want to risk pissing off. TV Joel, on the other hand, is much less decisive, capable, and stoic than his game counterpart, even at the beginning of their journey together. He suffers from panic attacks, he's starting to struggle physically, and often seems to be at a loss for what to do next. He frequently gets flustered and outmaneuvered in conversations with Ellie, and he even defers to her when it comes to making decisions, as if a 12-year-old girl who's never been outside the walls of her hometown is the kind of person you should listen to in a life-or-death situation.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be
The subtext here is that TV show Ellie has a lot less to learn from Joel than her game counterpart.
She's awful.
That she needs him less.
She's
There's less
so
of a
bad
contrast
in
between
the
them,
show.
So the father-daughter dynamic is weakened considerably. It's not destroyed completely, but it's far inferior to the game.
And I believe those are
that's not
actual
even taking
legit,
into
like,
account all the
giraffes too, which
shameless
is pretty cool.
political pandering the show indulges in.
Communism.
Nah, it ain't like that.
I mean, it is that, literally. This is the commune. We're communists.
I remember this episode. I remember that. I remember me and Gray talking about this. I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah, communism W. Yeah, dude, yeah.
This place actually fucking works.
You see, kids, if everyone just pulls together and does their part, communism really can work for all of us. To find out more about how you can get involved,
You should move to
contact your
Russia.
local political commissar
You should move to
now.
Russia if you like communism.
Still, it was enough to keep audiences happy with
Move to
season 1
China.
of the show. That, however, is gone now. Joel's dead, and instead, Ellie is left with Dina to play off of. And well, that's a whole different dynamic that's considerably less interesting. Why? Because there's no contrast between these two characters.
Yep.
They're about the same age,
And
the same
she's
gender,
looking
and
more
roughly
ugly.
the
Is
same-
it me or she's looking uglier and uglier each passing episode? Like it's like they're making her very masculine by like giving her like I'm pretty sure the game probably did it too. But she's like uglier and uglier every episode. And I think they're doing this purposefully.
Same level of experience and competence. Even their personalities are broadly similar. Yeah, Ellie's a bit more serious and focused, and Dina's a bit more outgoing and playful, but there's really not that much of a difference between them. Joel and Ellie's relationship wasn't just a broken man and a frightened girl trying to find a way to connect with each other. It was a clash of different
Walking
generations
jump
and
scare.
worldviews. Joel, who still remembered the old world before the collapse, and Ellie, who was born into the new world but still has to experience it.
More
Joel's
mannish?
maturity and experience versus
Yeah, because
Ellie's
she's a
youthful
dad,
passion and
right?
Curiosity. Ellie and Dina don't have any of that.
I'm
Because
gonna
they're so
be a
similar,
dad?
It's more like watching a person talking to themselves. Their scenes come across as flat, dull, and tedious, and not just because the actors don't have much chemistry together. Neither of them has anything particularly interesting or insightful to say. They don't offer contrasting opinions drawn from different life experiences.
Imagine if, oh my God, like here. Like, I just looked at her face right now. Holy shit. You guys see? Holy shit, man. You see that face? Oh my God. What's going on? But yeah, if I was in an post-apocalyptic world, I would not allow a female to be a leader. Because if they're a leader, it's basically over. It's basically GG's. Imagine you wake up in a post-apocalyptic world and micro-face Bella Ramsey is your leader. Jesus. Oh my God. Bobby? Yeah, don't touch my purse. I don't know you. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Look on that face.
They don't even have different physical capabilities that might offer some kind of contrast in how they approach situations. They're just two asshole teenagers meandering through the world, swapping shitty jokes and speculating about stuff that they don't really understand. And how can I put this? Teenagers aren't exactly the most interesting people you'll ever meet, and for obvious reasons.
Yep.
They haven't seen and done enough to mold them into interesting people yet. They're more like houses that have just been moved into. Yeah, the potential is there, but there's none of the interesting decoration or personality that builds up over time. In fact, when you think about it, the three main characters in this show now are all pretty similar. They're the same gender, roughly the same age range, the same size and build, and the same level of experience. Again, there's no real
And the thing is, Abby does not look threatening. Maybe that's the reason why. I don't know. Maybe they hired a girl that doesn't look threatening. But like, you should have hired like someone that's like fucking jacked, right? So like they should have done it. I don't know why. They should have got like a girl that's like 5'10", and fucking yoked out.
contrast between them, and so there's less to get interested and invested in.
Because we
It
do
also
know where
means
it
that
ends,
this
right? They
show is
basically start
badly
fighting.
missing
Abby and her start
gravitas.
fighting.
Like it or not, there's a certain
And then
kind
imagine
of
being a
authority
big
and
ass
charisma
girl,
and
like,
command that only
beating the shit
older
out of her.
men
Yeah, you're gonna feel
possess.
bad. Every one of these girls that are screaming right now, or every one of these people that are screaming, this is what the show. This is who the show is made for. Okay, this is who the show is made for. These screaming leftist fucking ladies. Holy shit, man. At least pop one of your titties out. Probably don't even have any though.
Young guys don't have it and women don't have it, and when you erase it from a narrative, you'll lose that sense of believability and gravity that a show like The Last of Us is desperately striving for. It doesn't have it now, and you won't find it with characters like Ellie, Abby, and Dina. All of this is my long-winded way of saying that killing off Joel was a huge mistake in the games, and it's likely to be just as damaging to the TV show. Not only was it a shitty way to kill off such a popular character,
Yep.
but his death leaves behind a narrative hole that nobody else is capable of filling. They really did try the same thing as before, and surprise, surprise, they got the same fucking result. And
Yep.
they really have no one to blame but themselves.
100%.
Anyway,
100%.
that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Yeah, so this was the video that was removed on the YouTubes is because probably Naughty Dog did not like what the drinker had to say. But that's a good video. There it is. Here's a video, chat. Go ahead and check out the video. Go ahead and check out the video. Give it a like. Give it a like. Comment down below with a eggplant emoji. But yeah, of course. Of fucking course. All right? We have been saying this shit for the longest time now. And that's the reason why that one game award year where The Last of Us 2 won every single category besides one. Every single category it won, it completely swept, is because Neil Druckmann basically was having sex with Jeff Keighley. Allegedly, right? That year was fucking insane. That like Last of Us 2 completely swept. They really, really wanted to push this. And they're basically saying that, bigoted gamers online, right wingers are saying that this, that they're review bombing this video game and it's not good. They actually don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then now you have the normies, the one who watch TV and does not play the game, does not play the source material. Now is like, what the fuck? This sort of shit. It won over Ghost of Tsushima. Yep. Exactly. And now you have people who are like, yeah, this show is sort of ass. This is sort of butts. This is not good. And that's the reason why, like, we're always right. It doesn't matter how long it will take. We're always right. Right? We're saying that, Captain America 4 is going to suck. And it bombed. And we're saying, this movie is going to suck. And it bombs. We caught the shit out for video games. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Concord. Dustborn. South of Midnight. All that shit. We called that shit. And we are always correct. Now we called the shit out. This is going to suck in the game. Don't do it. And they did it. Don't do it in the TV show. And they did it. They should have waited. If they actually want this to actually be impactful, they should have waited. If it's a 9-episode thing, make it happen at episode 8. Kill them off at episode 8. It'll probably be better. Or maybe you could have left it as a cliffhanger. Maybe The Last of Us, Part 2, the video game, could be split up into 2 seasons. But now the main character is dead. No one's going to actually care about this show anymore. And like this thumbnail says, it's total ass.